Crypto enthusiasts, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's get into where I think price is going for the weekend. And I don't really have anybody in here at the moment, but this video is going to pop up afterwards. So I'm not going to take too much time because everyone wants to get going for Friday. I know I do. So I've got my trades, as always, down at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen for you to see, and I'll just talk a little bit about them. So I am concerned about where the market is going to head because we had the Bank of England step in for the UK where they bought a bunch of the bonds, and it caused interest rates to drop by a full percentage point, and it created the market to over here, even in the United States, it created rates to drop just a bit, and we went off to the races, and that was why we've got this candle, boom, 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 boom. And that happened during this week where we were hitting pretty close to the low, and then we just bounced and shot right up. And what happened afterwards? Well, just now we closed at a new low for the year. This is a new low from the previous point, which is scary because typically when that happens, you can say, all right, we're going lower. And truthfully, I can see a head and shoulders type pattern. If I wanted to say, hey, this was the first shoulder, this is the head, here's the right shoulder. It's not as far as if I'm just looking at patterns, it's not the most defined, but it is scary. Because where would the price targets be for the S&P 500 with something like this, right? I could do the neckline, but I'm just going to kind of say worst case scenario here. That is 31,000. And where is this on everything? Where do I have my red line here? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, more than likely we would catch on stocks right around the 3,200-ish. But that is potentially where we could see the bottom of the entire market, where I'm like, man, I wish I had more cash on hand to get something like that. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, hoping that this bottom rebounds. And see, that's a bad word when it comes to trading, is hoping. But that is a full-blown breakout close below the low on the S&P 500, which is incredibly concerning because stocks are correlated with crypto. As much as people want to say they are not, they are. All the funny tricks came from stocks, and all the manipulation originally came from stocks, and they moved to the unregulated crypto space. That's why they get away with a lot more, because it's less regulated. Once it becomes more regulated, then we're not going to see as much of volatility and as much of these huge liquidation and boner killer candles that I like to call them. They're pin bar candles, but we won't go too much into that, right? Because my humor is really, really dry. And why is that just important? Because I'm contradicting myself on crypto, because the market's going to open potentially gapped lower on Monday. We might see a bounce, but this is telling me that we've got a good chance of breaking even lower because we've made a new low. But Bitcoin, I'm seeing an ascending triangle on the daily, which for me, that is bullish. We actually broke out, okay? We broke out. These things break out about 66% of the time, and you can see, boom, boom, boom. It's broke out a couple times, right? But what also is interesting is trading resistant lines. They like even numbers. Here, let me just go to auto here. They like even numbers. So every time we get close to even numbers, we end up retracing downwards. So anytime we got to 20,000, it was a massive chance to short. And I wanted to short, and I should have shorted, but I've already got a decent position in Bitcoin right now, where I was right around those other even numbers of 19,500. That's a good level too. That's a goal level for me. And you can see on my trade, I'm down about 9%. That's why I didn't short anything, because I don't want to have that much exposure, because I've already got 3 trades open right now. My Ethereum trade, already taking profits. There's no way I'm going to lose. It is just, I'm leaving it until I get stopped out. My XRP trade, I was about 200% in profit this morning, and I took profits. But let me first finish my thoughts on Bitcoin. Is what is potentially going to happen is we can see the trend line here. The trend line on the daily, it looks good. It looks good, where I could see us touching back down on this trend line, right? That'd give us closer down to the 19,000-ish range. If we don't break too much below this, this is just off to the races. We're going to blow back up and through. However, again, contradicting myself, what's going on with stocks, it's concerning that we might be seeing new lows for crypto as well. But I'm going to keep the long open here, at least over the weekend, because of where my stop is at. I don't know if I'd try to catch this trade. I'm trying to think of that for myself, is because if we do break down below, how much money do I want to throw at this sucker to move down to have my stop roughly, 17,500. So I'm completely stopped out, right? So as of right now, I'm just leaving it open, and I think we could bust out above the $19,500 range. And the more we touch the 2,000, the closer chance we have to break upwards back to that 21,000. If you followed me on TikTok and Instagram, I showed you my trade on XRP this morning, where, again, guys, if you can learn anything from me, is that price likes to get stopped at even numbers. It doesn't matter. Anything that ends with a 0, or sometimes even a 5, right? I know that sounds silly, but like 45, 50, those levels act as pretty good support and resistance alone, right? About 30% of the time, they're going to stop at those levels for a little bit. For a day trader, at least the courses I have taken, they teach you to, if you're starting something, you look for one of those even numbers to take profit. And if you get kind of close, boom, you take profit right away. And that's what I did on the XRP trade. You can see I entered right around 42 cents, which was a couple days ago. Okay, and I took profit at 49, because this 50 area has managed to be a lot of resistance where price does not want to get above it. So from there, we can see price potentially is probably going to go back down to in the lower 40s, maybe 43, 44 before we bounce off again. And if we bounce off, boo, 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 down here, that is a good sign. As long as we get above the 50 from there, that'd be considered a breakout. And then now we're in a pretty much upwards flag pattern, which those are fun to trade. Those are fun to trade because they pretty much are one of the biggest patterns to make money, because every time price touches these, boom, 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 they go off exceptionally to the moon per se. So again, if I was to trade this, we go touch back down here. That's the 45. Boom. We stay in this kind of upward trajectory. Boom. Boom. Those are the most funnest trades to trade, because your risk is low. Dude, your risk is low. I should just move this down so you could see it more. But we'll see that if that stays valid. I'm going to leave this on my chart just so I can eyeball it over the weekend, see if I want to add more to the trade. Because right now in the XRP, I've made it to where I'm just going to leave it open until I get stopped out. I have moved my stop even to the entry price. So if it does go below it, I'm guaranteed to make the 75% that I already took out of the trade. Ethereum. We're just sitting here in a range. Really the $1,400 range, and if I'm looking at this, gosh, really, it's 1260. Let me look down. Yeah, the hour still looks good. 15-minute. Dude, this is looking like as if this is a good entry right here. Boom, buy off support and then sell off a resistance here in 20 if I wanted to scalp a little bit. All right, I might have to do that. But that's what I have for today for Bitcoin and Ethereum over. Well, actually, I didn't really tell you guys my thoughts. I just told you my scalps for what I was thinking for Ethereum. So let me go back to the daily. For the weekend, gosh, we need a break above today's high of 1,370. Excuse me, it's not 13,000. There's 13 in there for sure, but it's not 13,000. I wish it was 13,000. So 1,400 is really strong resistance right now. I'd love to see us bank above there, but I could see us just kind of getting close and tapping it and then falling back down again. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. So I could see price this weekend pumping close to 1,400 and then falling back down under 1,300. So $100 swing, right? I can see that happening. And we just are staying in this range. Something big is going to happen. I don't see anything really for any patterns here on the daily besides consolidation. So something is actually, let me delete that. Could I draw a triangle in here? I know I like triangles. Okay. I am seeing somewhat of a symmetric triangle. What the hell? Go away. Dude. I'm seeing a symmetric triangle. That is a horrible symmetric triangle, by the way. But those are relatively hearsay, where it's either going up or it's going down. So we have to figure out. But whatever decides to break, it's going to break big. It's just decide what do you think is going to happen, right? I'd like to see it go upwards, but there's a good chance that we're going downwards too. But if we do go downwards, we're probably going to tap off of a good support line, right, which is pretty close to here. That's where the price is. You can see in the volume, that's where the price is. So a low 1,200 would be a bounce, would be a long for me. So we'll see. But I hope this all helps for you guys this weekend. This is Johnny Crypto, right? We did have a fairly good debate around the blockchain today. I do have some more videos planned to help with support and resistance trading and things of that nature. I did personally just buy some more Solana for my HODL wallet. And I'm really hoping we're going to see some upside, like some real rallies here soon, because I do not feel like shorting, but... Oh, Hill says, are we breaking to the up? I am kind of tending that we are going to break to the up. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, the S&P 500 is concerning because of breaking below its new low. Usually when that happens, we see price fairly decline. We might see a rally up and then further down where people are loading up, right? And then completely tanking. So